Tank joins us now here in the G-Bag Nation. Good afternoon. How you doing, sir?
What up, Tolo Nation?
Hey, buddy. Congrats on 3 in a row. How are you guys feeling on that side of the ball?
Oh, man, we're feeling great. We still understand it's a long season to go, but, just feeling good. Just want to emphasize on the good that we, did for the first 4 games. So, after the first quarter of the season, we look back and we see it's a lot of things we can still get better at. So we're looking forward to it.
It sounded like from the sounds of the sideline clips that we got that maybe teams are scared to pass on you guys now. Is that the story?
Somewhat. We got another opportunity this week against LA. Hopefully we get some passing situations.
Hey, Tank, when you go on the road and play these games, and you were there last year, with the Chargers and stuff. Those fans in Southern California take over those stadiums. I mean, do you feel that, hear that when you guys are lining up and playing at these road stadiums?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Especially when the Cowboys make a big play, you can see the momentum shift inside the stadium. You can hear our crowd, see our fans, and it's a beautiful thing to see the Dallas fans wherever we go.
Tank, I've wanted to ask you about the cross chop, and that is such a dominant move for you. How did you gravitate towards the cross chop as kind of your signature pass rush move? I'm just interested why you chose that, or when did you add that to your arsenal, and how that works for you.
Yeah, really, I'd say about 5 years ago, I was out working with D-Ware, Charles Haley, and they always tell me about the windshield wipers, how you always got to cover your chest. Offensive linemen are taught to put their hands on your chest, so you always want to be wiping your hands down your chest to, cover it so they don't be able to grab you. And, I was doing it one day, and, every time the offensive lineman tried to grab my chest, I keep crossing over with my inside hand and chopping it down. So I go back and look at film, and I'd be like, wow, like the move is actually working. Now I need to, complete it. With the cross chop, back shoulder grab, and into the rip to clear myself. So, I just been working it for a long time, and it just became a part of who I am.
I wonder what advice you'd have for a guy like Micah. We were watching, and it seemed like Washington, and this was something Brian pointed out, started kind of going low, blocking him, going at his legs. What advice would you have for a pass rusher to counter that when linemen start to go low on you?
It's a part of the game. I ain't see a play where they went low without it being a screen. So we practice for those type of situations. We understand them. We just got to make sure we're covering all our details when we're out there.
Do you ever is the most disrespectful thing an offense can do is like line up just a tight end one-on-one with you, and you're just like, okay, watch this.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I don't understand why, but it'd be different situations where it happened, and we love when it does.
Is there any tight ends throughout time that you've played against that you actually do respect for their blocking, or is it just night and day difference between a tight end and a lineman?
Yeah, I don't know too many tight ends that, stand out for their blocking. It actually is night and day. You get a smaller guy, someone that's not focused on that type of technique day in and day out. So, it's definitely way easier to, oppose your will on tight ends versus tackles.
We saw Farniak actually get out there and run a route from the fullback position. And yeah, you're laughing because we were shocked at it too. Now, Kellen Moore's talked about Micah has been saying, hey, I want to line up and I want you to give me the ball as a running back. Have you been giving Kellen Moore any suggestions? Do you want to get out there and maybe run a route as a tight end or anything?
No. D-Law accepts his role. I'm a rusher, and that's what I'm going to stay.
You got self-awareness, bro. Kudos to you. Now, you mentioned Jaron Kearse being the biggest ball buster on the team. I got to imagine Kearse was riding Farniak a little bit for that route running.
I don't know. I don't even know if he seen what went down, between Farniak. So, yeah, I don't know if he got on him about that.
It's the DeMarcus Lawrence Show here on 105 through the Fan.
Hey Tank, when you play that, they shift you inside in that under tackle or that that 3 technique, is that something? Do you have to have a completely different idea of how you want to attack that gap or that guard as opposed to what you're looking at on the outside?
You want to elaborate on that for me?
Well, like when you play, can you play on the shoulder? Like, is there, Zach was asking about the cross chops and stuff like that. Is it a different plan or a different mindset when you're playing inside there? It's like, okay, I've got to try and get my shoulder, underneath here. Are you thinking about different, with the way you're dealing with those hands and stuff for those guys, for the guards?
Oh yeah, most definitely. When you're playing inside, the game is sped up. It's shorter space inside. Outside you can just run the hoop. Nobody's out there but you in that tackle. So, but inside, you got somebody outside of you plus inside of you. So, you just really want to, get it in the phone booth and have quick, tight hands and power moves so you can, when you're up.
It's Tank Lawrence here with you now. You said we're focused on the positive and the things we're doing, and it's exciting, and we're with you on that. And there's so much good stuff going on. Now, the run defense is at 5 yards per attempt allowed, and that's a pretty healthy number. Probably going to be way lower by the time we get to the end of the season, just 4 games in. But what are you thinking about how we get a handle on this run defense, and what are you guys saying in the meetings and all that?
Yeah, I think we feel as a defense, rule number 1 is don't beat yourself. And at times last week, I feel like we put ourselves in positions where we weren't able to set the edge. And, that's all about, going in at halftime, making your adjustments, seeing the things that you're doing wrong and being able to correct it. And that's why I feel like, what's most important about our team is, we understand, if we do have a flaw in our game, how to go in and correct it and, get better from it.
How are you feeling about getting ready for the Super Bowl champs here? Does the energy go up against these guys? Or are you ready for that next challenge?
Yeah, most definitely. Ready and prepared for the next challenge. The Super Bowl was last year. So they have a whole new team, and we have to go for it again this year. So. I don't really, go off of, who won the Super Bowl last year because it's a whole new season.
Tank, the way football has evolved, there's so many different ways that we can measure production, and I'm curious how much you focus on some of these things. Like you were 3rd over the weekend in terms of pass rush win rate. Like, have you even heard of that term, pass rush win rate, before?
Yeah, I heard of it before, but I don't really pay no attention to it. It is what it is. It's just I'm trying to be the best at, doing my job and, winning in my position. So, that's all I really care about.
Is there a metric that you look at to just see? Is it just like, hey, what were my pressures? What were my hits on the quarterback? And what were my sacks? Is that pretty much kind of the way that you look at the way you measure your own play outside of just the way you felt and rewatching the game and knowing that you did your job well?
I really think about it as, only person that can beat me is me. So, I should win every rep, but, your win only counts unless you get a sack, you know what I'm saying? Or unless you actually touching the quarterback, putting that, pressure on them. But, it's really, all about just finishing, man, and, trying to finish each and every rep.
Tank, it is National Coaches Day. I'm sure you've had a lot of coaches along the way that have helped you get to where you are today. Do you have anyone that stands out to you?
Yeah, my D-line coaches are, near to me, man. And, I want to start all the way back to high school. Coach Hofstetter, shout out to you, Silver Bluff High School. Go to JUCO, Coach Bratt, Butler Community College. You definitely changed my game a lot. And going to Boise State, Coach K, Coach Kukowski. I think you at Texas now, University of Texas. And, you definitely showing me how to play the 4-eye and the 3-tech. So shout out.
Love it, Tank. Appreciate your time so much. Good luck out there in Los Angeles. Give them hell. We'll be pulling for you.
Most definitely, boys. Take care.